Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Calls from world leaders are growing for the release of Aung San Suu Kyi after Myanmar's military coup. US President Joe Biden has threatened to reinstate sanctions on Myanmar. He said the military should not overrule the will of the people. Along with the US, the United Nations, the UK and the EU have all condemned the military takeover amid fears of potential protests and unrest. The new military rulers have said that there has been election fraud, and they claimed that they will be in charge for 12 months before they hand power to the winners of a free and fair election. The UK government has announced that surge testing will take place in various parts of England after the South African variant of the coronavirus was detected in the country. On-the-spot doorstep tests, home testing kits and mobile testing units will be deployed in 8 areas, and people have been advised to further limit the time they spend away from home.
Well, this is the first day of a major operation.
Researchers have so far concluded the South African variant is more infectious, but they have not found divergence when it comes to symptoms. President Joe Biden has met with 10 Republican senators to discuss their proposal to shrink his sweeping $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package.
I'm anxious for it to talk.
The talks are considered one of the first tests for the newly elected president, as he could opt to pursue a scale-back measure that will fulfill his pledge to foster a broad compromise, or use his majority in Congress to reach for a more robust relief effort.
His view is that the size of the package needs to be commensurate with the crisis.
Mr. Biden has signalled openness to negotiate. However, the White House press secretary has indicated that the president will not be giving much ground. Meanwhile, a massive winter storm has hit the US East Coast, forcing the closure of vaccination sites and the cancellation of hundreds of flights. New York City and New Jersey have both declared a state of emergency, as several inches of snow have already fallen. The powerful storm has halted vaccine distribution in Connecticut, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Philadelphia, and parts of Washington and the New York area. Wind gusts of up to 50 miles an hour are also forecast for several days, as New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo has warned that it's going to get very bad very quickly. The United Nations has warned that more than 20,000 refugees are missing after 2 camps in Ethiopia's war-torn Tigray region have been destroyed. Satellite images show the destruction of the 2 camps, sheltering thousands of refugees, mostly from neighbouring Eritrea.
Refugees are fleeing from conflict.
UN's High Commissioner for Refugees, Filippo Grandi, has said that many of them have been caught in the crossfire, abducted and forced to return to Eritrea under duress by Eritrean forces. Since the start of the fight on November the 4th, in the Tigray region, thousands of people have died and hundreds of thousands have been forced to flee from their homes. There are shortages of food, water and medicine across the region of more than 5 million people. Ugandan opposition leader Bobi Wine has filed a legal challenge in the country's Supreme Court against the election results.
I am very confident that we defeated the dictator by far.
Mr. Wine wants the Supreme Court in the capital Kampala to nullify the victory of Yoweri Museveni in the January the 14th poll. The opposition leader has accused the military of allegedly stuffing ballot boxes, casting ballots for people and chasing voters away from polling stations. Mr. Museveni, who has been in power since 1986, has dismissed allegations of vote rigging, calling the election the most cheating-free since independence from Britain in 1962. At least 59 homes have been destroyed by an out-of-control bushfire in Western Australia. Many homes and properties have been burned down in the Perth Hills district as firefighters are trying to control the blaze that stretches 80 kilometres and has already burned through 8,000 hectares. Authorities have warned residents that despite the 5-day COVID-19 lockdown in Perth, if they do not feel safe, they must evacuate their homes and head to the closest evacuation centre. And finally, after Beijing was chosen to host the 2022 Winter Olympics, China has witnessed a boom in ski resorts, and winter sports have seen a huge increase in popularity.
In China, it's double.
Wu Bin, vice chairman of the Beijing Ski Association, has said the number of resorts in China has increased more than 60% over the past 5 years, and that skiing visits in the country have doubled from 10 million to more than 20 million. The winter sports have also gained popularity in the warmer southern provinces, as residents can experience the snow in Sunac Snow Park in Guangzhou, one of the world's biggest indoor snow parks. Since opening last June, Sunac has received nearly 2 million visitors in less than a year. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel studios in Lagos.